Hey guys, welcome to Jadestone Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a full moon reading for each of the zodiac signs. This is going to be for the full moon in Taurus. It's also going to be a partial lunar eclipse, and it's going to be at Taurus at 27 degrees. So before we get into this reading, I did just kind of want to talk about the transit and tell you guys what is going on, what the hell you can expect, because it is a partial eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, and it's going to be intense, okay? The energy is going to be definitely heightened. Full moon's already pretty intense, so now that it's a partial lunar eclipse, we're approaching eclipse season. It's gonna be a spicy time. It's gonna be an interesting time. So I did just kind of want to talk about the transit. I also wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper into the ascendants, right? Your rising sign. And not everyone knows their rising sign. You have to have your exact date of birth, the exact time you were born, right? So not everybody has that, unfortunately, but you can still check out your placements, may resonate, but this is just to be a little bit more specific. All right, so we'll get into that after, but I do want to just kind of talk about like the general themes that we may see come up during this time. Also keep in mind, we are approaching eclipse season, and the nodes, the south and north node that are currently in Gemini, Sag, they're going to be swapping to Taurus and Scorpio for the next 2 years. So it's going to be like a whole new kind of cycle and lessons to be learned for the collective. So it's going to be a pretty interesting time, some themes coming up. So that's kind of coming into the new year of 2022. Can you guys believe it? Like, whoa, this year is almost over. Like, what the fuck? Like, time's gone by slow, but also fast. It's just like a mind fuck. Like, time is just like warped. I don't even know, you guys. Daylight savings got me fucked up as well. It's like dark by like 4 o'clock. I'm like, wow. Like, I feel like the day just started and now it's over. Okay, guess I'm going back to sleep. Anyways, so let's get into this. I'm going to talk about just kind of like the general themes, and then we're going to go into each of the zodiac signs. I'm going to talk about the general themes. I do have notes here. I don't have it all memorized in my brain. There ain't no fucking way. But we're going to talk about the themes, then we'll pull some cards. And yeah, so this is a partial lunar eclipse at Taurus at 27 degrees. And this is just like about a time to get back to the basics, get back to what really matters the most to us. It's going to be highlighting our value system, where we put our energy, and is there a balance? Is there fairness? So since Taurus is ruled by Venus, right? Venus also rules Libra, and Libra is all about balance. So can you notice, like, it's all about the give and take? Wherever you're investing your time and energy, is there a balance? Are there some adjustments that are needed, that are required? Possibly. And this is about time. This is a time to let go of what's no longer working, what just simply you've outgrown, it's not good for you, it's negative, it's whatever is simply not working, and it's time to cut that shit out, okay? And that's going to be highlighted during this time. So powerful emotions are definitely being brought to the surface, and you may be coming through some sort of realizations about your feelings, about yourself, about someone you're dealing with, even things from your past that are bubbling up. And that's what I've noticed throughout some of these readings recently, is like things from the past, even like things that were like dead and done with, coming up. Cobwebs we didn't even know were there, coming up for us to get rid of. We are still in Scorpio season, right? In this very transformative time. Anyway, so emotions are going to be highlighted. Full moons are normally really intense, but the fact that this is a partial lunar eclipse, eclipses are like energy on steroids, right? It's intense, it's crazy, people losing their fucking minds, howling at the moon. I'm just kidding, but stay safe, y'all. There's a lot of sickos out there. Anyways, so you may come to some sort of realization about your feelings, or you might actually get a lot more confirmation about even like your gut instinct, the vibes that you get, like certain dreams or messages that come through to you that you're kind of like, I don't know if I trust it. With this full moon, it will bring illumination to what's hidden, or like giving you confirmation, especially towards your intuition and hunches that you've had. You're going to get some confirmation regarding that. Now, the moon in Taurus is actually going to be opposing Mercury, which is still currently in Scorpio, and that actually could be helping us gaining a new perspective, a new point of view about how we feel, or about someone that we're dealing with. Is going to kind of unlock a new perspective that's going to help us understand what the fuck's happening here. And also with these things that are being brought to light, especially when it revolves around other people, it's really important that we practice self-discipline discipline in how we react, right? Think before you react, think before you speak, right? That kind of energy. There may be the tendency to like lose your shit. It's important that we all stay grounded during these times. It can be pretty crazy, pretty intense. So just stay tuned for that.
So Aquarius is going to be more specific towards my Aquarius risings, but of course Aquarius Sun, Moon, Venus, you still may get some sort of information from this. So for my Aquarius risings, this full moon is going to be transiting your 4th house. The 4th house rules the home, the roots of your family, where you come from, your ancestors. It's also ruling self-care, your emotions, and even mother or feminine energy could be coming into play, or like highlighted in some sort of way. So whether you're spending time with like a mother figure or some sort of feminine energy that you look up to, that's very nurturing, or maybe you're thinking about someone who kind of has that status in your life. So you guys are going to want to be more in your comfort at home, with your loved ones, with your family. There's kind of like this desire for privacy, or just wanting to feel safe and secure. You may also have the tendency or like the desire to like redecorate or remodel, or maybe like some of you are planning or have been going through renovations. Just wanting to be in the comforts of your own home. It's like kind of was highlighted during this full moon. Feeling more empathetic, feeling more understood, and it just feels good. You know, it just feels like you guys need to just be comfy and like got some good food, got your favorite drink, you know, maybe some good music, or just like good company. It's kind of like the energy for this full moon. So like that's just like a chill vibe for you guys. I really like that a lot. So we're gonna turn around the angle, pull some cards, and see what else you guys might be dealing with, what else is gonna be highlighted during this time. Let's get into it.
Alright, Aquarius, let's get right into the reading, starting off with some animal oracle messages. We're going to get a feel for energy that you guys might be dealing with or can expect, you might be feeling right now. Then we'll pull some star messages, a rebel message, and some fairy messages. And yeah, so let's start off with some animal oracle messages for Aquarius, Summer and Venus. Regarding this partial lunar eclipse, what messages do my Aquarians need to hear? Any insight, wisdom, guidance regarding this full moon in Taurus? What do they need to hear for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Any messages for Aquarius regarding this full moon in Taurus? Any messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Regarding this full moon in Taurus, partial lunar eclipse. What's going on? Okay, the deck doesn't want to shuffle anymore, so I'll take that as a sign. It's ready. Messages for Aquarius. Oh wow, the eagle coming out. This came out for Saggy. You may have Sagittarius in your chart, could be connecting with a Sag. We also have the octopus and the camel coming out. At the bottom, dolphin. Oh, you have a very healing energy, Aquarius. But it's also important of who you share your kindness with. It's great to spread love and light and positivity, right? And help out when you can. But it's also important to know when to say no or when to set boundaries. And I believe that this has been a message for you guys over the last few months here and there. Not every reading, but I know that this has been a message for you guys occasionally, and this is kind of coming up again, where you may have been finding yourself in cycles where people just dump a lot of their shit onto you, right? It could be a stranger, you know, you're at the grocery store and you're checking out your items and you're talking to the person working there and they're like, oh, how are you? And you're like, oh, I'm good. And you ask in return, being kindly, common decency, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm good, how are you? And they're like, oh my god, I just went through a breakup, my boyfriend cheated on me, and like, we have a child together, and we're going through child support, and like, taking him to court, and like, you're like, bruh, I don't know you, why are you telling me your life story? Like, why do I attract people who just, like, talk to me as if I'm their therapist? Like, bitch, I got my own problems to deal with. Oh my god, and it's draining. I'm really feeling like you guys are heavily needing to protect your energy always, but especially during this full moon energy. Now, for my Aquarius risings, like I said, this will be transiting your 4th house, and that rules your family, that rules, you know, your home, and maybe this is even a cycle that you see throughout your family. Is like maybe everyone just trauma dumps on each other, all our problems, you know. Maybe your sibling calls your phone and you don't answer and they lose their shit because you're supposed to be there for them because you're family, and you know, it's just like all this unrealistic, unfair pressure that you may be putting up with. The Camel's a very independent energy, and I do feel like you guys may tend to handle your emotions kind of by yourself, just on your own. Like, you always seem to remain calm, cool, collected, and you bring balance quite well, even through times where you are being pushed to the limits, where your patience is being tested, where you may find yourself heated. You're able to see your way through your emotions. Your emotions don't tend to cloud you, at least with this energy coming out with the Camel. And I guess during this eclipse energy, you guys seem to be very well centered in your emotions, and I feel like the people around you might not, and they're coming to you for like support or advice, but at times it gets overwhelming or just way too much, or it's extreme and it's draining, or it's very like negative, and it has an influence on you. And I think it's important during this transit and moving forward, but this is being highlighted, being brought to your attention. It's like, don't be afraid to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. You are not a people pleaser. You did not come here to make people like you. This is your life, this is your journey, your self-development, self-growth, and finding yourself, and it's not your job to save everyone, right? Yes, we have the dolphin at the bottom of the deck, and this is a very healing, nurturing energy to be around. Everybody loves them, right? It's just they radiate the sun. They are this warmth. They make a difference. You walk into the room, all eyes on you, / the energy changes, right? Everyone's in a bad mood. You walk into the room, you're happy, and like everyone just feels it, and they feel a little bit better. It's like you're the warmth of the sun, you know? Even when you're having a crappy day, you go outside, you get some sun on your skin, you just feel a little bit better. And that's kind of like this energy that you are in, at least right now. It's like you have this light and you're shining brightly, and I'm just getting the energy. I was like moths flocking to a light at night. That I'm rhyming, you guys. I need to stop, but it's not intentional. My God. But like, yeah, it's like you're this beacon of light, and people are drawn to that. And not everyone has bad intentions and are trying to use and abuse you, but at the same time, it's still draining. They can be your best friend, but it's still draining when they come to you every single moment. They have shit go downhill. Like, you know, it's not your job to fix everyone's problems. And this is maybe a cycle that you've been finding yourself in. Sheesh, and it's a lot. Yeah, it's like we have the hummingbird. This always talks about people returning. People always returning to the dolphin, like, I need your help. I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling confused. I need something that keeps me anchored, keeps me centered. And you are that person. Like, you are the go-to person. People come to you when they feel lost or confused. You always have great advice. You always help out when you can. And, like, that's great and all, but man, what about you? What about when the roles are reversed? Is there a balance? Is there fairness? That's a question you're going to have to ask yourself. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. Maybe there's some adjustments that are needed here, right? Or even just like giving a little bit less energy to those that don't give the same amount of support to you. I'm just saying, it's like taking back your power. Whew, okay, I'm going to grab some water because my throat's a little scratchy. Let's get into this. We're going to start pulling some tarot messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding this partial lunar eclipse. So yeah, I kind of feel like there could be some shifts going on in your personal relationships. Any messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding this full moon in Taurus? Messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. That was me. That's a huge stack. I'm not taking that. I feel like you guys have high expectations on yourselves, partially because of the pressure others put on you, and you don't want to disappoint anybody. But you have the Ten of Swords coming out. Yeah, like there is this mental exhaustion. Some of you maybe recently have gone through some sort of ending or a loss, but I do also am just picking up on the energy of just feeling exhausted. Alright, messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Wheel of Fortune. Messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding this partial lunar eclipse, 8 of Pentacles, awesome. Some of you are a teacher, or like you have some sort of influence on those around you, or like people learn a lot just by being around you, or the information you share with others, people really learn from you. 3 of Swords, backside. We have 9 of Pentacles backside, the Hermit card, as well as Ace of Pentacles, and Devil reverse backside. Some of you maybe have gone through some sort of ending, or this is maybe what you're going through currently, where you're freeing yourself from some toxic shit. And it takes a lot of strength for you to overcome. Underneath strength, we have, Knight of Swords and Death. Yeah, so some of you recently have gone through some sort of ending, or you're putting an end to some sort of toxic or unhealthy situation in your life that's just draining you or caused you a lot of harm rather than good. You might be spending a lot of time reflecting on it, questioning your decision. Did I make the right choice? I do feel like there's a lot of like reflection and trying to get clarity on yourself if you made the right choice. There might be a little bit of like insecurity or lack of confidence within yourself, like wondering maybe I was too harsh, maybe I was overreacting, but that's not the truth, and you know that deep down. I think you guys are also really working on building your confidence and building like a backbone and being more firm within yourself and your boundaries, and like, you know, there's a fine line and not allowing people to cross that line. And there also is some sort of opportunity here with this Ace of Pentacles. We'll get to that. Whatever this ending is, this 10 of Swords, there is something that's changing. And even with the Eagle coming out, I always say the Eagle is like major divine timing, divine orchestration. Like things are happening exactly the way they need to, and that there's like God's plan, you know? Like there's a purpose behind the experiences that you're going through currently, or lessons that you're learning right now, or endings that you're going through. Like it's happening to teach you a lot, and maybe it's also happening so that you can help others on their journey, right? Since there is this very healing energy that you're embodying. And when we look at this 8 of Pentacles, there's like this grown man, he's working, and there's a child watching him. So you may have people watching you, or like observing you, or like you're teaching people something. Like again, I'm getting this teacher energy. Whether you are actually a teacher or just like you have some sort of influence in those around you, whether it's just like family or friends or like a whole audience of people. Even these people that are coming into your life, let's go back to the example of people dumping all their shit onto you, right? There's a lesson for you to learn here. There's something that you are being taught with these experiences, with these people, with these cycles that you find yourself in. There's something that you can learn from this. There's a reason why you find yourself attracting similar situations, similar outcomes, similar people. There's something that you just need to learn. And then we have the 3 of Swords backside. So this is you guys reviewing something. Maybe this is talking about this 10 of Swords, right? Reviewing something that came to an end, or something that already happened that definitely had an influence on you, or something that taught you a lot about yourself, that had an influence on you, on your journey, that you're now starting to understand or view differently. And so that makes sense why you're going into hermit mode. Like, okay, so now I'm getting something else. So this ending brought massive change in your life and taught you a fuck ton about yourself. Maybe at the time when this ending happened, you didn't understand it. But now as you look back at this, maybe this is being highlighted during this eclipse energy. Maybe you're looking back at a situation that happened that was significant for you, and you're recognizing how much has changed since that ending, or recognizing how much you grew since that ending, or recognizing a lesson that you learned, or a cycle that you've been in. You're recognizing something, and now with the 9 of Pentacles backside and the Hermit, it's like you're going inward and thinking about it and contemplating it. You're gaining some sort of insight. And then there we go, some sort of opportunity presents itself, or something's coming out of this. Alright. You guys. Wait, what was at the bottom, just real quick? Underneath Death. 2 of Wands and Choice, the Moon, 8 of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. What are you moving towards? 4 of Wands. Okay, I'm not going to clarify that. I'm just going to go with those cards. Oh, and 9 of Swords backside. Okay, you guys, I'm going way too far. But I was like, okay, maybe I should clarify, but that wouldn't be fair because I didn't clarify any of the other readings. But just taking a little peek. This is at the bottom of the deck. So this is what, you're requiring a lot of strength to overcome some sort of toxicity or the thing that you're reflecting on, there's still maybe a bit of a tie or attachment, or there's still a lesson that needs to be learned, and it's coming up for you to look at, right? And as you're looking at it, as you're reflecting on it, as you're going inward, boom, death, ending, and you're transforming from this experience. Underneath death, well, we have the two of wands. So now you have a choice. Have you learned your lesson? Are you ready for the next step, the next level, or are you going to repeat? I think you're ready for the next step, the next level. Anyways, you go in and you reflect some more. With the moon, getting illumination, getting clarity. Well, then we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so this is you guys choosing to walk away from this cycle, stepping out into unknown territory. You've learned your lesson. There's nothing else here. So you got the clarity you needed, Ace of Swords. And now you're moving on, Six of Swords. And where are you moving towards? Four of Wands. Stability, fulfillment, happiness, support, fairness, equality, balance. And this also talks about needing to rest. Taking a break to rest and regain your strength. And we also have the Nine of Swords backside. So seeing through the illusion, not quite understanding before. You didn't understand why this happened. You didn't see the lesson. You didn't understand. Now you do, right? We had that Ace of Swords that allows you to move forward, all right? So yeah, we're really digging through these cards, and then underneath the Nine of Swords backside, Seven of Cups, seeing things exactly as they are. Wow, so congrats, that's big. So really wild energy that we picked up on. Sheesh, this eclipse energy is getting intense. And this is only partial lunar eclipse. We got full-on eclipse energy coming up in Sagittarius season, December. So stay tuned for that. This is just like giving you a little taste of the energy that's yet to come. All right, so I'm going to grab a rebel message just for shits and giggles. This may be helpful. It may not be. It may call your ass out. Let's just see. Are there any rebel messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding this partial lunar eclipse? Any rebel messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding this partial lunar eclipse? Any rebel messages? There we go. We have get the fuck outside. Move your ass. Your body's pissed at you. Okay, some of you really need to get your body moving, grooving, get stretching, get some fresh air. Your body will bounce back in the meantime, alright? You look like a shit show. Sheesh, Rebel Deck, this is not helpful at all. You're a hot mess, fact. Clean yourself up, okay? Maybe some of y'all are like, okay, I need a haircut. Maybe I'm going to dye my hair, or maybe get some new clothes, or just, clean yourself up, maybe. This is a message for someone. Please don't take it personal. And then we have take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1. Okay, maybe 2. Move on. Okay. Thanks, Rebel Deck. That was... I don't got words for it. I'm not going to say anything. I don't have anything to add to these cards. That's the Rebel Deck. That's the Rebel Deck for you. Wow. Okay. Any fairy messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Any fairy messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus regarding this partial lunar eclipse? Any fairy messages? Okay, this deck does not want to shuffle. Oh, and what do we have here? The Journeyman, number 15. I can't read numbers, apparently. 15. So this is kind of like the Fool. So something here beginning or initiating, or you are really stepping out into unknown territory, testing your wisdom that you've gained, things that you've learned, and now you are starting off fresh, clean slate with the wisdom that you've gained, lessons that you've learned, and you're ready to start over again. You are highly protected. You're always being watched over, and this little figure at the bottom kind of represents like a grandparent energy. So there is this very protective, nurturing energy watching over you. I love that a lot, and this is just like a friendly reminder to take care of yourself. right? So some of you really have been neglecting your own self-care, right? You're a hot mess. Clean yourself up. Maybe this is a message coming through from the other side saying, hey, oh, like, we see you maybe struggling. Maybe you haven't been eating enough. Maybe you haven't been taking better care of yourself. Maybe you're really needing to focus on your health or your wellness, your mental health, things like that. That might be a message for someone out there, but just to really, this is a reminder to take good care of yourself and don't neglect your needs, Aquarius. So you got some shit to begin, and you need to be tip-top. You need to be ready. So yeah, and just to keep your balance. But definitely stepping into the unknown. But you got this. And you've learned a lot. And you're ready. So that's what I got for you guys. If you guys found this helpful or insightful, please let me know in the comments below. If you guys are interested, you can follow me over on my Instagram at Jadestone Tarot. And yeah, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.